Hello, my name is Jesus David Gonzalez Sepulveda, and for this time I'm going to be talking about my English practice. Well, to start, I would like to say that my attitude and this vertical practice was totally different because according to my previous academic practices or my teaching practices, it the practice for this time were some totally new. Yeah, in this way, I have to say that I had to think about the methodologies and the theories I had to implement in class in order to make a student feel more interested in my classes. In this way, the students' attitudes were not the best because I feel that, or I realized that they were so lazy and their behavior or their mood were so passive at the time of developing activities. But, well, in this sense, I consider that the main problem I had to face during my teaching practices is the lazy attitude or the passive mood that learners presented at the time of developing activities during the class. In this way, well, it is also highlighting the way in which they participated because they didn't even try to participate during class unless they were asked for doing it. Well, another important point that I would like to take into account during um, the classes was the way in which they felt during the class activities because they didn't even try to participate, but they liked to compete among themselves because, well, it's some ironic, but it was what happened during my classes. I realized that they liked to compete during my classes. Well, how did I realize about it? I realized about it when I started to implement I don't know how to say activities which impel them to develop activities in short time, so they had to be quick and they had to think fast and they had to perform quick participation during his or her own process during the activity. It means that they, as soon as they finish these activities, they like to compare their answers with other partners, which facilitate the socialization at the end of the classes. Therefore, I decided to establish some rules during the class in order to improve the level of students' participation because my objective was to increase the level of confidence which they can feel during participating. One of the things I decided to implement was a spinner that I used at the beginning of the class. So I decided to turn or to start the spinner, and this was going to choose a student, and this student had to prepare a little or a short sentence they had to say, and consequently they had to talk about this, and this sentence was an idea or a part of the daily routine they performed during a day. So they had to talk about this sentence and consequently talk about the daily routine they performed the previous day or the day before. Hence,
Although students didn't participate too much during my classes, my relationship with them was some good because they felt confidence when they tried to talk to me about depth of a topic, or in case of having any kind of insecurity at the time of answering. They always uh, tell me or ask me for the pronunciation of a word, or they try to make me understand what or which was the problem they presented at the time of developing certain exercise or certain activity. To conclude, I would like to say that these teaching practices show me what teaching really means. Therefore, the most important thing I consider that was the most meaningful during these teaching practices for me was the innovation or the switch of strategies that I had to implement during classes, because I was not used to, or I didn't even know what teaching was throughout virtual media. It was some totally enrichment for me, because now I know how to implement classes throughout virtual classes, and also how to implement strategies throughout this kind of teaching.